just learned that the president of our country took girls, and I mean girls, not women, girls, young girls, and inserted fingers into their vaginas and rated their level of tightness for sale and sold these girls. So we're just going to sit with that.
Yeah.
And okay, all right, there's not going to be justice and he's not going to be prosecuted. Again, that's where we are, people.
One more step towards revolution. That's where we're going. And that's what's happening. Damaging Epstein files of calendar girls. Claim against Trump vanished mysteriously, but screenshots go viral. Recently released documents tied to Jeffrey Epstein have surfaced allegations involving President Donald Trump. The billionaire politician has previously denied having any knowledge of the convicted sex offender's illegal activities while branding the push for the file release as a hoax. However, the newly disclosed records are now being interpreted by some raising questions about Donald Trump's past relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. The alleged private parties were hosted at Trump's Mar-a-Lago. So the new Epstein files production featured numerous allegations made against Trump and others.
This is horrible. Like, this is just...
Keep scrolling, Colin. Damning allegations linking President Trump to Jeffrey Epstein have emerged in recently released files related to the late sex offender. One of the documents claims that Trump hosted private, explicit parties at Mar-a-Lago, his luxury club in Florida, and invited high-profile guests such as tech mogul Elon Musk, some attorneys, and several members of his family. The parties were reportedly called calendar girls.
So they didn't even hide the fact that they were girls. No. That's okay.
The parties were reportedly called calendar girls, seemingly a reference to the alleged involvement of minors who were said to have been provided by Jeffrey Epstein. According to the document, Trump allegedly auctioned these minors to attendees and also had a bizarre method of valuing each of them. He measured the children's vulva and vaginas by entering a finger and rating the child's tightness.
And it specifically says and rated children on tightness.
Just hold in on his image, please.
Now,
how would you not just love to have somebody who looks like that testing you with his fingers?
I don't want anybody testing anybody with their fingers. Okay. Okay. And here's the thing, as annoying as I found how upset people got when he said the grab him by the pussy, and I'm like, well, at least he's saying the quiet part out loud. I was still thinking consenting women. You know what I mean? I was still thinking adults, but we're in a whole new world now. This is a whole new world now.
One other doc alleged that a minor was forced to perform oral sex on the president approximately 35 years ago in New Jersey. Again, it's probably true, but who knows? During the alleged sexual meetup, she reportedly bit the president, and he allegedly hit her in the face after she made fun of the bite. At the time, they said the victim was 13 to 14 years old and was likely one of the minors associated with Epstein. As the doc said, that she was also abused by the late sex offender. Snippets of the documents that circulated online sparked intense reactions from netizens, many of whom have been clamoring for the full release of the Epstein files. This is an insanely hard read and absolutely damning and disgusting. All of these people should be rounded up for the world to see today without a second of hesitation. Damning allegations, disgusting filth. Will he say these were made up? Second netizen remarked. Effing horrific Epstein files. Others slammed the documents as damaging and reprehensible while raising concerns about Trump's past relationship with Epstein. Shortly after the files were released and the allegations against Trump were highlighted on social media, the DOJ scrubbed them from its website. Nothing to see here.
Except we have it. We already know it, though.
A similar incident happened in December of 25 after it was confirmed that a photograph featuring Trump was removed from the cache of documents shortly after its release. As reported by The Blast, the picture identified as file EFTA 000468 depicted an open desk drawer containing several photographs. Keep going. One of the images visible was a picture of the U.S. president in the company of several young women, and then a separate photo of the politician with Epstein and his right-hand woman, Ghislaine Maxwell. The latest deletion of files has further caused backlash, with netizens accusing the DOJ of breaking the law. A person noted, those knuckleheads must have forgotten that the internet is forever.
Exactly.
By now, there must be screenshots galore. Another asked, why delete unless Bondi, Blanche, and Patel are covering Trump's ass?
But then how did it get out? Then why did they release it in the first place? That's what's so weird. So there's got to be somebody on the inside that is putting the information out, even though the rest of them are not wanting it put out. Somebody's doing that. It's not.
Trump has consistently denied any involvement with Epstein, and is likely will maintain that stance regardless of any new documents that are released. Yes, of course he will. Why would he not stop? Hasn't stopped him yet. Meanwhile, in a statement to the press, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche downplayed the contents of the Epstein files. There's a hunger or a thirst for info that I don't think will be satisfied by reviewing any of these documents. He also noted that his agency did not attempt to shield any federal officials from scrutiny if the files linked them to Epstein. However, he did not reveal if any new person will be criminally prosecuted, just like Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. We did not protect President Trump. We didn't protect nor not protect anybody. But you're not going to prosecute anybody either.
It's not. It's just we're in this very, very weird, bizarro world.
Yeah, it's pretty, well, I wouldn't even say it's bizarre. I would say that people just, they're coming to terms with the reality of a lot of the things that we had talked about over the years that were considered sacrosanct or untouchable. Specifically things like Pizzagate, which we had mentioned a time or two, which of course was linked to Hillary Clinton. But let's face it, they're all connected to this stuff, all of it. Did anybody really think that there wasn't child abuse that goes on, that there isn't something really sinister that goes on amongst these people, that they're not damned animals, that they don't do things that are absolutely sadistic, that they don't murder, maim?
Because there's no accountability. Why not? That's
so why not test the waters?
Well, I think that they're just very bored. These are bored people.
Yeah. And, well, that's like the argument. Well, again, this is like the argument. Why, why do it? Is it even plausible that Trump has no interest in children? Yes. And why would he do that? Because he can, not because that's his secret fetish. You never, until now you're hearing it. But at the end of the day, again, it's like people get bored and they decide that they want to be involved in this stuff. So that's,
yes, it was done to me as control, domination, and it had more to do with this auctioning off and showing off and using people to show your prowess. Like, that's really what it is. And again, I don't know if that's his kink or not. But regardless, if that stuff is credible, which again, I don't know, I have not authenticated these documents, but this is some sick shit we're dealing with here. Like, we're in a,
yeah.
Our president auctioned off children and measured their tightness of their vaginas. And we're all just
leave it
to next.
Leave it to friend of the show, James Lee, to cover what, again, many people would have assumed was a crazy person. But this is the lady claiming, this is a Hispanic lady claiming that, well, you'll see.
Rico Jimenez. She was a Mexican model and disappeared back in 2009. Of course, yet another person disappearing. She was filmed outside of a luxury hotel screaming about how they were eating people. Everyone thought she was crazy. Of course, the woman is crazy, not to be believed. Don't believe the woman. Yes, she was visibly distressed. Wouldn't you be? Making accusations against highly powerful, prominent people in society that they're eating people? That's crazy, right? She's gotta be crazy. This says here, on the yacht, he witnessed babies being dismembered, their intestines removed, and individuals eating the feces from those intestines. I guess they're just gonna call all of us crazy now.
No, you're not crazy. This is just again, this is why when the question of will you take the blue pill or the red pill comes into play, everyone assumes that they would take the red pill. But the fact is most would take the blue because they don't want to know about this stuff. They don't want to be exposed to the reality of the criminal behaviors of the elites of society that
I don't want to know either.
for the longest time you wouldn't know about. So when somebody says something like Pizzagate or Spirit Cooking or Seth Rich or any of these stories that are considered untouchable for so long, it's because plausible deniability. One person's connected, everyone's connected, and everyone understands that if you take one down, the whole system collapses on itself. Now, how much of it is true?
Honestly, it's too specific and yet far-fetched to not be true in so many different aspects of this, and which people were named and which combinations of people. And it's not stuff that people would just know and do if it wasn't. So I do believe it. Now, obviously not everything in there is going to be true, but let's say hypothetically just some of it is true. It's enough. It's enough. Honestly, if you're doing shit that could even lend itself to us having the discussion as to whether or not you're eating babies, okay? If you're doing stuff that's even causing us to have that discussion, you're doing shit you ought not be doing. That's all there is to it.
There's a lot of protein in those babies.
Well, it sounds like they ate their shit, but again, it doesn't, like, a lot of stuff will of course get exaggerated and turned into urban legends. But at the end of the day, it's like stereotypes. It's based on reality.
Well, speaking of
based on something, there's something there, and it's something pretty vile.
Well, let's try to conclude this on somewhat of a humorous note. Speaking of shit,
are coming up with new opioids faster than the government has been able to keep up. We're going proactive on these new chemicals.
That's great. Now I hear fantastic things. Thank you all very much. We really appreciate it a lot. Thank you, Oz. He's doing a fantastic job. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. Thank you, please. Thank you.
Mr. President, can you respond to the new Fox poll that says people think ISIS's tactics are too aggressive?
I'm seeing RFK like,
and the blonde woman next to him, and I'm not sure who that is. Both of them do that. Now, again, I didn't think people would be able to hear it through our playing it, but guys, if you find a version of this, they're all over the place. You actually can hear him shit his pants.
Yeah, I heard like a little.
Because he's mic'd up, so you wouldn't.
Oh, yeah. She just.
He's mic'd up because he's answering questions, so he's wearing a mic, so you hear it audibly. And look at her. You see her?
Yeah.
She's like, oh, God help us. So obviously, as soon as that happened, the people started hearing and they wanted to ask questions. And you see how fast they rushed everyone out of there? You want to watch it again? Oh, you heard it? Okay, good. So look, a lady heard it.
One more time.
New opioids faster than the government has been able to keep up. We're going proactive on these new chemicals.
That's great. Now I hear fantastic things. Thank you all very much. We really appreciate it a lot. Thank you, Oz. He's doing a fantastic job. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it. Thank you, please. Thank you.
Mr. President, can you respond to the new Fox poll that says people think ISIS's tactics are too aggressive?
I mean,
All right, so here's what I think. It sounds
oh my
like
God.
it sounded like some squishy noise coming from the chair, perhaps. Is it definite that that's what happened again? I don't know. I'm looking at it now.
If that were the only instance where that had been suggested about him, you might have cause to be a little bit skeptical. But this is the umpteenth time that I have heard somebody mention the fact that he is not able to control his bowels. and that he has a stinky odor. And there have been other incidences where he's in rooms like this, where people have to cover their faces, and you can see people like doing this.
Well,
And King Charles said he had to fumigate the place after Trump left.
well, the only reason why I would be inclined to agree that he probably did is because of how they are reacting. You see, if there's somebody close by who actually caught a whiff of it and knows that this is not the first time that this has happened and doesn't want it to turn into a big press story, that's why they have to kick them out as fast as possible. We can't let the odor spread. So,
Right.
yeah,
Exactly. If there wasn't, if nothing had happened, then they wouldn't have reacted this way. And you could see that it was very unplanned and hurried the way that they ended it. It wasn't supposed to be that way. So why would they have done that?